Today I'm going to show you how to use this piece of software called CNC Motion. This is the icon for it, and when you double click on it, you're going to get this program to come up, and it looks just like this. So a little bit of a quick tour of this thing. We need to start a new file, so I'm going to go up here, I'm going to click File, and I'm going to say New, and this is where I'm going to enter my G&M code, and I'm going to type it in to this piece of software. Now, the G&M code that I'm going to use, I'm going to draw this letter A using the software, and I'll show you some little tips and tricks. So the first thing I had to do was, of course, I had to come up with, and it's on this side of the paper, I had to come up with all my points, my A, B, C, D, E, F, G, so on. Once I had that, then I wrote my program, which is this right here, by hand. So I'm going to show you how to enter stuff into the software and how to get your program to do what's called verify. So let's see. Up here is the little block for doing verify. Now for some reason my program has gone to the background. I can minimize this. By the way, if I want to bring this back, I can go to Window and hit Run and Edit Screen, and this will pop back up. So if your windows get all messed up, you can move these windows all over the place. If your windows get messed up, just go up to Window and hit Run and Edit, and it'll bring you back to this. So I'm going to click inside of this box right now, and I'm going to start typing in this code that I have right here. So the first one's G90 space G20, and then I'm going to put in absolute coordinates for comments. So I'm going to write this up here. So I'm going to write in, or I'm going to type in G90 space G20. Now, this is in lowercase, and most stuff gets put in uppercase, so I'm going to actually change to uppercase here. So I'm going to hit the caps lock, and I'm going to put in my G90 space G20. And to put in a comment, you always put in a semicolon, and then you can type your comment in. And this is, whoops, absolute chords, and this is also inch mode. And I'm going to hit return. And you'll notice that this is color coded. Now the next line is M06 space T01. And notice I'm not putting any spaces in between the letters and the numbers. That's one of the things that causes failures, is to do that. And I'm going to type in my comment, tool change, space tool 1, which is the tool number that we're going to be using, and that is 1/8 of an inch and mil. So what I'm going to do here is I'm going to pause the video and type in more of this, and then I'll come back when I get to a point where I want to actually show you some more stuff. Okay, so I have typed in my program up here, and we're going to get ready to do what's called verify the program. But before you do that, what I want you to notice is that I have something missing in my code. And the trouble I have is I didn't put in any end values. I just typed starting with the G column here. So I'm going to go back to this thing. And I did that on purpose. The reason for that is, and to fix this problem, I'm going to go up to Edit. You can type in the end values if you want. You don't have to do what I'm about to right now, but it's a little bit easier if you do this. I go to Edit, and I go down to where it says Renumber. And I'm going to, for these 3 radio buttons here, I'm going to hit Renumber Encode. I'm going to start my encode with 0. And increment is defaults to 1, but I'm actually going to change this you can change it to whatever you like. I wouldn't recommend a really big number, just like 2 or 5. I'm going to change the increment to 5, and the reason you have this increment is if I have a problem in my coding and need to insert a line, this way I don't need to renumber everything. So I'm just going to put in an increment of 5 right here, and then you can watch what happens to my code here when I hit do it. Now I've got N0 and I have N5 and N10 and so on and so forth. Now one thing that this does do though is it doesn't put a space in between the N code and the G's. So I'm just gonna fix that right now. You can see this types up by 15 or by 5s, sorry, and we'll get this all fixed. Okay, I'll fix this and come back. Okay, now I've got my code all spaced apart here. So between the N value, I put a space, and that gives me my color coding back here. So you need to do that. Next up, I'm going to actually do what's called verify the program, and I'll be able to see what my letter looks like up here in this little picture. Now, the way you go about that is you have this little button right here. It's a red box and sort of looks like a tool cutter, and I'm going to click on that. It's going to come up with this question right here, verify the program. I'm going to say verify, and then it's going to tell me to insert tool 1 now, and that is because of our tool change value right here. It's asking us to do that. So I'm going to hit the green icon, and it says I have a missing number. Now the important thing when you get this little dialog box, if you get it, and you probably will, is to look down here and to see what it's talking about. It says on N30 and then it shows the rest of the lines. So I'm going to go here, and it tells me that line N30 has a missing number. And the trouble is, and this will happen to you, is this right here is an O rather than a 0. So I'm going to backspace that and put in a 0. So that is one of the common errors. Now let's try and re-verify our program again, and we'll hit the green icon, or you can press F5, and I'm missing numbers again. Let's see, what am I missing? Oh, line 40. Okay, let's go take a look at line 40. It's right here. X 0.3975, Y space 0.3125. You can't have a space between the X or Y or Z value and then the number that you want for that. So I'm going to backspace there and get rid of that. And now let's try our verify again. And I hit verify the program, and I hit the little green thing, and it drew my letter A, and it said normal program stop. So those are common errors that you're going to have for the coding of this machine.